1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the channel, people. Today I wanted to talk about a very important topic. Something that I feel like society as a whole gets wrong each time. And it's about sharing your art and coming out as an artist. I want to use a case study today about a YouTuber. His name is BlackySpeakz, and he has 1.1 million subscribers on YouTube. Like, he's crushing it, right? He normally makes content surrounding the hip hop space. He's usually talking about artists. He's usually talking about various artists and the controversies they get into. And he's also known for being a music critic. So this gets interesting because at the beginning of this year, he dropped his first song called Told Myself. And given that he's a music critic, he was obviously gonna have a harder time with the public than normal, than most people would on their first release. And he had 1 million followers. So he released a song, and it was, in my opinion, I didn't think it was that bad. I actually, it's kind of catchy. Like, told myself, gotta go and get it. Yeah. Tell myself gonna get it. I'm so sick of living like this. Tell myself, yeah. It's a little catchy. But people were roasting the shit out of him. I don't know if I should be swearing, but people were roasting him like crazy, And I watched a couple other YouTube videos where others talked about, people talked about, he should have practiced more before he released his video. And I don't agree with that. And that's why I want to talk about this, because I'm a independent artist who's also releasing music. And I started releasing music literally almost the first song I recorded, I released it publicly because I was so excited about my work, right? And I'll be honest with you, my music now versus then is way better. But looking back, I would never tell anyone to wait or discourage anyone from releasing further music, even if their music isn't great on the offset. And I've come up with a list of reasons why you should you should release music even when you're just starting, or even when you feel like it's not good. Also, even if people tell you it's not good, you should still keep releasing music, or not just music, keep making your art, right? So the first point I have here is growth. We have to be serious. We have to be serious with ourselves. Ask yourself the question, what is the purpose of us releasing this art? Are we releasing this art for validation, or are we releasing this art for knowing that as we are, we enjoy what we've created, but we are looking for the long term and trying to grow? Now, one thing about growth is the more you grow, you become more aware of your weaknesses and your failings. When I started making music, I was so ignorant to the process. I thought I was a shit. But actually, the more I learned, the more I realized there's so much that I don't know. And now that we know that growth is the kind of seeing the awareness of where you're lacking, then one way to a fast track to get yourself to see where you're lacking is to go public with your art, to go public with your work. If you put yourself out in the public, people will let you know where you suck. People will let you know where you're lacking. So I promise you, if you want to grow quickly on your craft for your music, your painting, your company, your business, put yourself out in the public and let people tear you apart. But in tearing you apart, you will grow faster than anyone else who decides to stay inside and work in secret. Sorry about that. All your flaws will be laid out on the table. Now, the second point I have here is resiliency. Artists and creators, we are very sensitive. We have to develop a very sensitive antenna to ourselves, to emotion, to society, and as a whole. We're more feeling. Now, in the face of negative feedback, to someone who's more feeling, that could be potentially devastating. Imagine you've been practicing for years, working on your craft, building yourself up, only to come out with your first release as a sensitive artist and to be ripped apart. Not get the validation you thought you would because you've been practicing so long. I think we need to avoid the situation where we could potentially be taken down and broken down so much that we don't continue to work on our craft, that we don't continue to build our work on our art. When you come out with your art, initially, when you're a smaller artist, when you don't have that much of an audience, you will get negative feedback. People will talk shit. The amount of shit I've received on posting on TikTok my music and stuff. People want to shoot me. People tell me I suck. All this stuff, and I love my art. So whenever I receive these comments, I'm like, what? But what you go through builds you up. So you have to build yourself up to become a large celebrity, to become a large artist. I'm gonna become a celebrity. So you know what? I don't mind the backlash I get now. I don't mind that people talk shit about my music because I know when I'm larger, that's gonna happen at a much larger scale. So we have to build up that resilience through exposing ourselves, entering the arena. Now, the next point I have is we also have to develop the mindset of completion. People really underestimate how much work it takes to, release a track, right? Especially if you're doing it by yourself, like you don't have a team, you're independent, right? You're recording, producing, you're mixing, you're mastering, and then the next natural stage of completion is to put it publicly. We have to develop the muscle of completion. When I started releasing my music, initially I had the initial burst of everyone was excited, whoa, Essay's actually dropping music, this is crazy. People wanted to see. But after a while, people just don't care anymore, right? After a while, the initial spark dies down. But we need to develop, we have to keep developing that muscle of going public with our music, because when we create our art, the next stage is to have people listen to it. And getting people to listen to your music is not very easy. It is a muscle that must be trained, and it's part of this completion process. We have to develop the muscle of completion. when we work on our art without releasing it publicly, we're constantly developing. Yeah, we may, and we're more likely to create half projects, things that we're not proud of releasing, showing the public. When you tell yourself, I want to release things that the public will see, you're training that muscle that, okay, I need to create my best work every time because I'm going to release this and show this to people. So going public with your work helps with that completion, help you build that muscle of completion. The next point, the universe conspires for you. I'm gonna make a whole video about identity shifting because I truly believe it's so powerful. But the short form is, in my experience, the universe is a multiplier to the actions and mindset you take towards an identity. If you say, I want to become a recording artist, I want to become a celebrity, I want to become a content creator, I want to become a business owner, I want to do this, the larger the actions you take towards that identity, the universe gives you a larger aid towards going there. When I started going public with my music, all of a sudden, it felt like this artist wanted to collab, this artist wanted to come hang out with me, this person was like, oh dude, like, I'm throwing a show, you should come perform. The universe aids you according to the steps you take towards an identity. And going public with your work and saying, hey, coming out to the world and saying, I am an artist now, that is a large step towards entering that identity. And the universe will come together and push you and pull you deeper into that identity. I promise you, do not neglect this. The bigger the steps you take, the better. I'm working on bigger steps too. I've joined a program where, I had to invest quite a bit, but it's gonna aid me and bring me deeper into my art. It's gonna make me a stronger, better artist. I'm working on developing a show this year. I wanna perform, all that is just gonna pull me deeper into the identity of an artist, and I'm excited. I don't care if I suck. It's all about taking those steps. Now, the last thing I wanna touch on, is it art if it's not shared? The answer is yes, it is still art if it's not shared. But it depends. There's a caveat. What do you wish to accomplish with your art? Are you actually trying to go public with your art? Or is it just for you? If it is for you, it's perfect because art is a channel towards self-discovery. It is the manifestation of your subconscious. It is how you see, it's how you will end up seeing who you are on a deep level. When I write, thoughts and my expressions come to me, and when other people listen to it, they're like, oh, is this about so-and-so that you experienced? And I'm like, oh, I guess it was inspired by that, but it's an insight into your deepest subconscious. Ask yourself, is that the end of your art though? If that's all you want, like, sure. But there's more potential to it. There's more potential to your art. I wrote kind of a little, a poem or a piece here that I'm gonna read to you because it will help you understand why the potential of your art is unlocked when you decide to share it. And it goes, in this massive world, we are all unique. Our individual paintbrushes strike canvas in strokes unlike no other. Our voices vibrate with such minutia detail. When we sing and speak, we inject newness into existence. But we mustn't forget that although our hues are wonderfully distinct, our color is a resultant mixture of collective influence, shared cultures, shared experiences. This is the power of shared art. It is a process of self-discovery and expression, but it is also a process of connection. In our art, we find ourselves, but in shared art, others have the opportunity to find meaning too. In this mutual discovery of self in artistic work, we enrich the world by fostering connection. I want you guys to go back and listen to that and listen to why it's important to share your art, even if you don't think it's good. Usually when you don't think it's good, you don't know how someone else will react to it. You don't know what kind of chords it'll strike within another person. And we're usually harsher critics on our work than others will see. I make things all the time where I'm like, oh man, this just sucks. And then I show somebody and they're like, damn, this is dope. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's pretty dope. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to share your work. That is what is going to make you better. It's going to elevate your craft. And don't listen to the naysayers. Who cares if Jimmy sitting at home playing Fortnite thinks your music sucks? He's not making tracks. I promise you, in 2 years, when you keep sharing and keep doing, all of a sudden, when you're amazing and you blow up, all of a sudden people are gonna be, oh my God, like, I used to like your music. Oh yeah, you're so dope. Oh, I'm so excited to come to your show. Man, shut up. So please share your work. The world is better for it. And you will ultimately get better. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if this was inspiring or helpful or anything, like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. Ask questions about music. I'm an audio engineer also, so I know how to master and I know a bit of mixing. Please ask me questions. Put your experiences with sharing your art in the comments. I want to hear it. I'm going to reply to every comment. Thank you. I will see you guys in the next video.